Seattle music is real talk.
Hey, welcome to Seattle Music is Real Talk. You dig what I'm saying? I'm here with a special guest today. You know, we got a very, 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 very special guest. My partner, a personal friend of mine, DJ Funkdaddy. How you doing? How you living, Funk?
What's up, man? What's going down?
Oh man, we just sitting here, man, trying to do the best we can, man, at the things we do. You know what I'm saying? Today, man, I brought you here today because I wanna highlight you at the same time, but I also want to present you with a couple things. You know what I'm saying? And before we get started, can you tell the people who you are for those that don't know you and how you got inspired to be a DJ and a producer? Because you really both.
Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you right now at the start of this interview, I talk a lot, so I'm gonna be all over the place, man. You might have to be editing and cutting.
Hey, that's
and doing
fine,
whatever,
man. That's fine, man.
So what inspired me is just basically loving music. You know, when I heard the first rap on the radio, I was like, that's so cool. Next thing you know, I'm rapping along with it, you know, never thinking that I would become a rapper myself, never thinking I'd become a producer myself, let alone a DJ myself. And I did all of these things because when I first started rapping, I didn't have a producer, so I had to learn how to make beats. I didn't have a DJ, so I had to learn how to DJ. I never thought I'd be a DJ or a producer. I just wanted to rap, really.
Right.
And then now, you know, I don't rap too much, but I produce and DJ all day.
Who inspired you to become a DJ? I know you just said that at first you was a rapper. That was something that really caught me off guard. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember back in the day, but I don't really remember you as a rapper, man. I just really remember you as a producer and a DJ. You know what I'm saying? Because your beats were so fire back then. You know, it was just like, damn, Funk's a producer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we met as me being a producer.
Exactly. Okay. Well, that's what's up, man. So basically, at that point, man, what's one of your memorable producer experiences, and what made it so special to you, and what did you learn from it?
It's got to be when I produce. It's a close one, but it's when I produced E40 and Be Legit and them guys down in the Bay, because JD took me down there. You know, I was young and, you know, hadn't been to Cali too often. You know, I was probably a little kid when I went the first time or whatever. But this time, you know, I'm in a big studio with them. They're being down to earth. They're asking for feedback and input. And it's like, you know, I never thought I'd be working with people that I listen to, you know, as a major artist or whatever. So that was probably the first big thing for me. Then when Mac Dre got out of jail, you know, the first person he wanted to record with was me and K. Lou. K. Lou's from the Bay also. So we drove down to Sacramento and went to a studio with Mac Dre and was just laying down stuff too. And that was, you know, I used to grow up listening to Mac Dre.
Correct.
So it's a trip listening. One minute you're listening to somebody, next minute you're producing them, you know?
Man, this is deep, man. Because I didn't even know you produced for Mac Dre, man.
Oh, yeah. I produced like 6 on that one album as soon as he got out of jail.
Which album was that?
That was Stupid Doodle Dumb.
Oh boy. Boy.
The very first song on there is the one I did.
Hey man, so really, to be honest, the Seattle sound has influenced some of the top Bay Area rappers.
That's what a lot of people say, because, you know, I produced JT from the Bay. I produced
JT, the bigger figure?
No, JT from In Too Deep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Baby Bash when they was what was it, Latino Velvet? They was a group together. I produced PSD, Player Stevie D.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of people. I produced Digital Underground's cousin that was in a group called Neighborhood Kingpins.
Oh my God.
I produced Money B.
Oh my goodness.
From Digital Underground. So, but to be fair, it's kind of going in a circle, because what I produce is what I hear and what I'm listening to. So I'm not just listening to the Bay. I'm not just listening to Seattle. I'm listening to everything.
So that was just basically your own concoction of you being a DJ, or not an actual DJ, but a producer, and the sounds caught you.
Right. You like what you like, basically.
Hey, that part,
Yeah.
man, that part. Man, our audience is curious, man, on how you make hits, man. Can you walk us through your typical recording setup or software that you use?
I was using Reason, but now I use Studio One.
Okay.
But basically, most of the time I was using Reason. When you say how I make hits, as far as the technology, or as far as what do I do, what am I thinking of?
Right. What is your creative process?
Well, what I usually do, since I'm a DJ, I'm always in club mode.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, when and you know how Seattle is,
Yes,
they gotta be familiar with it. They don't just you can't play something and then. So in my mind, I'm like, it's got to be super slapping, something that they're gonna like, even if they don't hear the rap. So that's what I'm usually thinking of when I'm making a beat. You know, I can't help but be in club mode a lot. Sometimes I got to turn it off to make some different type of styles, you know?
Hey, man, that's what's up, man. What's one thing that might surprise people about how music production really work and behind the scenes of it?
That's a good one. They might be surprised to know, like, I still work with artists, and you're an artist yourself, so you should know this.
Mm-hmm.
They still think that people send out the songs all tracked out. Like the bass, the snare, the hi-hat, the tambourine, the blah, blah, blah. So they'll send, some people will send me these huge files, and I think the fans would be surprised to know, you know, I've heard 50 Cent and all them guys, you send them a beat on 2-track MP3 or whatever, they're in their tour bus, they could be recording right then and there. Okay. They don't need the stems, they don't need the waves or whatever. They just, sometimes they'll do blah blah blah, and then they'll hit you back, hey, I made a song to that beat. You know, let's do the paperwork now, you know, afterwards. So you don't need to do it like the old days and track everything out. A lot of times when you send somebody a beat, they might be ready to go right with what they hear right then and there.
That's what's up, man. How long have you been being a producer and a DJ?
I say about, I mean, I started in high school. You ain't filthy when you first start out. You know, you might think you are, but you're usually not. I say I probably mastered it when I was about 88, 89.
88, 89. So you've been in the game for, you said 88, 89, man. That's over like almost 30.
Yeah. I've been doing it for a while, man.
Man.
I fell in love with music when I was in middle school. I'm an older cat.
Right.
So I fell in love when I was in middle school. I got my first drum machine when I was in high school. And the funny thing is, one of my best friends was a guy named Andy. Andy was best friends with this other guy that worked with Mix-a-Lot. Okay. So when Mix-a-Lot had equipment, he got new equipment. He sold it to the Phantom of the Scratch. That was his name. Okay. Phantom of the Scratch told Andy he got a drum machine. I buy the drum machine that Mix-a-Lot used to have. Wow. Phantom of the Scratch got a keyboard from Mix-a-Lot. It's called the Freak. He called it the Freak board. It was a moved keyboard. I said, I want that too. I get that too. I'm now making beats with good equipment. Before I was just rapping over instrumental records. Right. Yeah. So it all just came together. I just kept going.
Man. Hey, this is historical, man. He's telling you guys of how he got his start, how his start began, and the history of his start. So all you producers out there that's just getting in the game, what type of advice do you have for them?
I would say, don't be discouraged if you don't have the equipment. You think you don't have the equipment, or you don't think you have the means to make music. Like I said, I was rapping over instrumental records on my grandma's turntable. Okay. Literally, you know, we put the instrument on, we record it on cassette, you play it back, cassette, rap over it to another cassette. Okay. We didn't have a 4-track. We didn't have a drum machine. Wow. You just do what you work with what you got. And believe it or not, it kind of helps you get better. Like, I didn't have Technique 1200s to scratch on like DJs, you know, professional DJs do. I had that old rickety hard turntable. But imagine I'm trying to scratch on that. Imagine when I get on some techniques that are, you know, they move a lot better. The needle don't jump and skip. You're just going to get that much better. So don't let anything discourage you. You can damn near, I mean, just like everybody's telling you, you can record on your phone. You can make a beat on your phone. You can do all that stuff for free.
Nowadays you can. Yeah. You know, because technology then went from analog to digital.
When me and you was coming out, the biggest thing that kept anybody from doing anything was not having distribution.
That's
right?
true. That's
now
real.
you have this. You can go online, create an account. You got distribution everywhere, the whole world. $50.
Yeah, $26. You
Yeah.
go to CD,
Yeah.
baby. You know what I'm saying?
So and you
that's
know
what's up.
there's nothing really holding you back nowadays, really, except yourself.
Except yourself. Producers, you guys hear that? The only things that's holding you back is yourself. So you have to believe in yourself and validate yourself, and don't let no one discourage you from you doing you. How do you deal with criticism or negative feedback from fans or artists? Can you share any instance if or when that ever happened to you in your career?
It happens from day one of your career, and it's never going to stop. And I say the only thing I've ever done before in the past was you try to address it. That you don't do that because you be doing that for the rest of your life. Somebody's always going to have something to say, and you're going to try to clear it up, and you'll be clearing up stuff your whole life. Don't do that. So if you already assume, it's just like Cat Williams said, if somebody's hating on you, that means you're doing something good.
Because if you don't have a hater, that means you ain't successful.
So let them do their job. That's what he said.
Hate. Yeah. Let a hater hate.
Yes. That's how you deal with it. You assume it's gonna happen. You don't get mad at it, you know?
Man, I'm loving it. I'm digging it, man. Now we're gonna jump into some DJ questions, because you are a DJ, man, and you didn't DJ some top clubs, top festivals, top parties, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's the secret ingredient for creating a unforgettable dance floor experience?
I think the main thing that helps is when you're out and about in the environment and you pay attention to other DJs.
Okay.
And so the DJ will throw something on, and you look at the reaction of the crowd.
Okay.
If they ain't feeling that, you'd be like, I wonder why you played that. They wasn't feeling that one. Or if they did play one, and you'd be like, this song sucks, but everybody's dancing. This is a hot song. Just because you didn't like it
don't mean that they ain't
don't
digging
mean that
it.
they're not digging it. So then you file that in your mind. So when you DJ, you already know what they're liking. It depends on the crowd, but you learn by listening. You know, that's one thing. The other thing is the skills. You learn how to mix, you learn how to scratch. Not too many people scratch too much, and not too many people trying to dance care about that.
Well, but I could dig that, man.
Yeah.
What's the most epic mistake you made ever in front of a crowd, and how did you recover from it? If you ever made a mistake.
I made a couple of mistakes. I'm trying to think what was the biggest one. I've DJ'd. You remember Aerospace?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the number one club.
That was the number one club back in
Everybody's
the day.
dancing, clubs packed. I mixed in a record. It was a hot song. Everybody's even dancing harder. Whole club cracking. Now this is back when you had regular, you had records. You didn't have
correct. Yeah, vinyl.
So I was playing this song. Everybody was hot dancing. I mixed in another song. Everybody's really feeling it. Then I picked up the record of the song that was playing and took it off.
Oh! By accident?
By accident.
Oh,
I was drinking while I was DJing. I ain't gonna say that's why I did it, but I just wasn't focusing, at that one moment. And so everybody looks up, and then I quickly put it back on and put the video back on, keep the party going.
It kept it going, huh?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure most DJs have done that once or twice in their life.
They had to, unless they really ain't a true DJ, because everybody gonna fumble that once or twice when you're in the moment.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you was kind of intoxicated, you was kicking it, the vibe was right, everything was cool, and when you looked up, you thought you was pulling the other record. But you wind up pulling the record that
they
it
listened
was.
to. Yeah.
Man, how did you recover from it, though?
I just put it back on. It's almost like, when they say rewind, you just play it again. So as long as you play it again, you keep it going.
Hey, man, that's what's up. That's what's up. Can you walk us through a preset routine from getting ready to hit the stage or dance floor to finishing the night?
It depends on what type of party it is. If it's a old school party, I just get up there and You do a sound check. You just, as long as there's a monitor by me, I'm gonna be straight. And as long as the mic from anybody who's supposed to be on the mic is going in that monitor, so I can hear them when they're talking to me, I'm gonna be straight. And I already got, my records in order of what I'm gonna play, and I even got records. If this don't hit, then I'm gonna slide to this. So,
man, that's what's up, man. What's the best advice you could give an up and coming DJ?
same advice as the producer, man. Don't let not having stuff hold you back. I mean, I DJ on 1200s, I DJ on Rain 12s, and I DJ on the Rain 1, which is a controller. Okay. And some people say, controller means you ain't got no skills, blah. I've seen DJs on a controller do stuff that you can't do on the turntables.
That's unbelievable.
And backwards. Okay. I've seen people do stuff on the turntable you can't do on the Rain 1. So don't get discouraged if you don't have a certain thing. You start out with what you start out with, and you just migrate to whatever you migrate to.
Man, you guys heard that right from the horse's mouth. This is one of the number one DJs in the Northwest. I'm not even going to say Seattle. I'm going to say the Northwest and beyond. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been in the game, man. You shocked me with some of the things that you said, man. I'm still blown away. You know what I'm saying? By the Mac Dre and the Digital Underground and things of that nature, man. But you also have produced hits for us as well, the new artists. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is the artist off the platform, Mari Bass One. You've done a lot of hits for him, man. Mostly all your records, we was able to get it on BET Jams,
right?
Get it on national radio. You know what I'm saying? And hit the iTunes charts and I didn't even know that Amazon Music had a chart.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't know that either, man.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the reason why we're here today is for me, Mr. Benjamin, take my glasses off. And I want to honor you, man. I want to present something to you, man. Crack that open, man. That's a Amazon chart plaque. I'm gonna give you the honors of opening it up yourself. Yeah. Read that off for the people, man. Read that off.
Presented to Gregory, DJ Funkdaddy Buren, on behalf of BJ&J Entertainment, debut album, Mariotto EP, to commemorate the number one position on Amazon bestseller rap and hip hop chart for the single 48 Ratchet featuring Beat King. Rest in peace.
Yes, sir.
Seattle music is real. This ain't a game, it's a movement.
It's a movement, man. Yeah. Hey, but it don't stop there. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you one more.
iTunes.
You dig what I'm saying? Yes, sir. I'm gonna let you open these up for yourself, man. I'm gonna give you the honor of showing our audience what comes with a good producer, a great producer. You know what I'm saying? Read that off for them too, man. You got to read them off for what they for, man.
Presented to Gregory, DJ Funkdaddy Buren, on behalf of BJ&J Entertainment, debut album Mariotto EP, to commemorate the number 9 position, top 40 hip hop rap, and the number 17, I think that's 17 position on top 200 charts.
No, that's
87.
That's 87.
87 for the single 48 Ratchet featuring Beat King. Seattle music is real. This ain't a game.
This ain't a game. It's a movement, man.
Now let me tell you something, man. I started to hijack your interview. I was like, man, there's people don't know all the stuff you've done. Well, not just for yourself, but for the city. But I mean, this pretty much says it all right here. Seattle music, man.
Yes, sir.
You didn't just do it for yourself. You didn't just do it for your son, your daughter, and for your family. You did it for the town.
I did it for the whole city.
You did it for the city,
whether they believe it or not.
I saw a clip on social media of the West Coast Hip Hop Awards, and I don't even think it was your clip. And somebody was just showing all the stars. Yuck Mouth, I think, was there. Sugar T was there, and blah blah blah. And then I look and I see the BJ and J Entertainment van, and I was like, he's referencing, he's holding it down,
come on, man.
Hold it down.
Come on,
Then I
man.
see the interviews, you're interviewing everybody, and if the town don't appreciate it, they should, and I definitely appreciate it because you've been doing this just as long as I have.
Yeah, I've
Just
been
as
in it.
long.
I've been in it for a while, man.
Yeah,
I've been in it
yeah.
for a while.
And I also want to say, out of all the artists and record labels that I've worked for, 2 maybe have bought me a plaque. They make you buy the plaques.
Oh, of course. You know, that's up to
E40 and them the first time they shipped me and JD Hill our plaques.
That's what's up.
Littleton shipped us a plaque before too, Littleton Miller, and you took care of these too, and I appreciate it too.
Come on, man.
I appreciate it. That's love.
Hey, man, that's all. I just want our audience and those out in the world to understand that Seattle music is real. And I showcase the talent of Seattle and the town and the Northwest region because a lot of people don't understand that this new generation don't pay homage to those that paved the way for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't do their history. They don't research what's going on in their own city because nobody have given them the guidance or told them which way and who's who. So they really be blind to stuff. And I just took it upon myself, man, to make sure that we get honored, man. Because like you said, I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there since yay high, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the mix, seeing things progress, seeing things come from when the family studio with Billy Chambers and Beezy and them was up there off of what's that?
Across from Miller.
Broadway, almost off Broadway.
Yeah.
Over there.
Off of right by that community center.
Yeah, right by
Miller
the
community
over
center
there. And then, you know, you go over to Sam's and Let's Do This up on Madison. Then you go to Keeks. And then you also had to go from where you was because you always, to me, when I link with you, you did it out your house.
Yep.
You always had your own studio doing your own thing. That was back when you was working with Livio and all them cats. You feel what I'm saying? Putting them in the game. Yeah, you had them guys in the game. You know, and I always admired that. That's why you was one of the first producers who took my song that we did and you cleaned it up. Because it had a bunch of hissing in it and a bunch of background noise in it.
Yeah.
And you took my song and made it sound crispy clear. And I was like, man, Funkdaddy's the truth. And ever since then, I always respected you, man. I remember when you made it into the Seattle Times, the paper back then. Yeah. I remember when you did a lot of things. And this is one thing I never forget you said. You said, hey, man, price didn't change, man. Stuff ain't free no more, man. You know,
I remember that.
And you know what I'm saying? I had to, and I respected the game because it was growth and elevation. It was like, come on, man, you guys got to respect what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And I learned way back then, man. So that's why I made it a point to when Maury Bass wanted to be in the game. Who did I bring them to?
You brought them to me.
You. Because I knew out of all the producers, I'm like, nah, Funk is the one. Even though there is other producers like Dog 'em Out, there's Beezy, there's Rock Fizzle, there's a whole lot of producers. You know, Jake One, there's the
Beats by Brandon.
Beats by Brandon, yes. Yeah. But Maury Bass, that's his partner. You know what I'm saying? They friends. He did the song Beats by Brandon. He did Love Me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those guys started out together, but I wanted him to go to an original that I knew was going to come with the hits because this is something that, you know, like science. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know if you went to school for it and you learned it, but at the end of the day, you know how to make a song right.
I appreciate that.
And I just had to bring you here today, man, because a lot of us nowadays in this generation, I can only speak for the record labels now, the independent labels, because I can't speak for no major label because they do what they do. But the independent labels around the Northwest, they're not honoring you guys, man, the way they supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because if you guys produce a track for their artists have to do something first of all, because you can't get these. You can only get these kind of accolades as if you selling records, man, or getting monster streams. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I think you should tell a lot of these artists out here. And you already know this. Don't just rap to rap. Put the stuff out. You guys put the stuff out. You guys,
correct.
You're on beat. Why would you have a video on BET and not have your stuff out? Right?
That don't make no sense.
Yeah, all these artists, you know, people, a producer's only gonna be known or as good as what people hear, and they're not gonna hear nothing if you guys ain't putting nothing out.
That part, man. You guys are hearing this from one of the legends in this city, man. So I hope you guys take heed to what he's saying. Before we go, man, let them know where they could find you at.
You can find me on Instagram, Funkdaddy Official. You can find me on Facebook, Greg Buren, Funkdaddy. You can find me on TikTok. I'm all over. You can find me on my website, funkdaddy.com.
Spell Funkdaddy for the people, man, because some people, you know.
Funkdaddy.
Funkdaddy Official.
Let me ask you a question before we go. What did it feel like when you had your commercial? Now, see, this is one of them first moments. Because I remember we sitting here watching the Seattle Supersonics or some, it was either a championship game or some NBA game. And we look up and your commercial came on, man. We thought you was the biggest. What? It's not your same. It's not, you know, Channel 29. You remember Channel 29?
Right.
You was on national, man.
National TV, man.
And I think you was promoting Crafty.
I was
promoting Crafty.
That was when DoSay.org commercial came on.
Man, we was tripping. We were in a room full of people and we was tripping. So how did you feel? I mean, was that to you? You was like, oh, I just did that.
You know, honestly, man, when I did that, I knew I was gonna, because I always told myself, man, I always thought outside the box. This is one thing that people never knew about me. I was always the brains behind everything that we did.
Yeah, I knew that.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people didn't know that because when I was an artist, I had to play the back. Because at that time, certain companies, entities didn't want to deal with the artists. They wanted to deal with your business brain.
Right.
Because they felt like artists was prima donnas. They don't know what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? They basically felt the artist was ignorant.
They didn't respect the artist.
They didn't respect the artist. So me seeing that and business-wise, someone else had to step into the role so they can sit in the meetings and they can do certain things for me. But when they came out of that meeting, they had to come tell me everything that was going on, because without my approval and without me saying, okay, let's go, we wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
So I was young back then. You know what I'm saying? I was young back then, and people didn't really realize how old I really was, but I was young. So that moment to me, man, was one of the biggest moments besides me making it to the BET Uncut with Mr. Benjamin, the anthem. Those two moments for me, man.
You got that. You got the billboard should have been a big moment. Being on the buses should have been a big moment.
Well, that's now in the new millennium. That's in the 2025, 2024. We're talking about back then.
It was a big deal.
Back in like the early 2000s.
Being on BET back then was a big deal.
That was a big feat, man.
Yeah, it was.
And for me to be independent, you know, because a lot of cats around here had major record deals. I never had a major record deal. Yeah. And I was moving bigger than those that had the record deals, that had got the money.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It was all due to business. Everything boiled down to business.
Yeah.
Because one thing I used to say back in the day, I said, if you ain't rapping, if you ain't living right, you ain't rapping right. Especially if you called yourself a rapper.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have the nice house, the nice cars, the jewelry, and you got to remember, man, I was one of the first persons to have the big Duce record charm with all the gold in it and all the diamonds in it with the big Dookie ropes. It's because as a kid, those are things that I just had anyway. My uncle could attest to that because I used to wear his jewelry because he had the nice jewelry. So I was like, oh, let me rock that. Let me rock that. So those are things that I liked. You know what I'm saying? And as I go along, man, and started to actually sell records with Southwest Wholesale. Do you remember Southwest Wholesale back in the day before they went under? Man, we were selling records. Crafty and Walnut sold a lot of records, man. They sold more records than some of these artists today and back then. See, I never ever told nobody how many records that we was really selling, man, because it wasn't nobody's business. You know what I'm saying? But that was why we was able to stay independent, man, and didn't have to depend on a record deal. I had opportunities to get a couple record deals.
You told me.
But the money wasn't big enough. I had that money sitting in a closet in a coat jacket. I'm like, man, that ain't no cash. That's not a side, man. Hold on, man. That ain't no money. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just blessed to still be here in 2025, man. And not pushing myself, but pushing my legacy and the next generation of this Seattle hip hop scene, man, Seattle music scene, because it's not about me anymore. It's about the new generation, man.
It is.
And
it is.
I want to let the rest of the world understand that we have an identity up here. When artists come up here, they deal with certain people that don't bring them to the real people.
I know what you're talking about.
It's because they try to take the credit like they're the only ones popping. Their clique is the only clique doing it. Right. When they really not keeping it real with them cats and saying, we need to go over here and deal with these guys, see these guys. Yep. But that's where we break the stereotypes. We breaking that cycle here. That's why when we created the Seattle Music is Real platform, I wanted to do something different and not, like I say, I always think outside the box. I wanted to make a positive platform because this platform is anti-gangs, anti-drugs, anti-violence, anti-guns. Because I felt like we need to create a safe space, man, that the community can come to and be able to support the local talent without having to be scared to come to a place because somebody's going to try to come fight in here. Somebody's going to try to come shoot it up because they beefing. You know, I tell artists that's on that, I don't mind you being on that. I don't care what you say when you get on the stage. It's how you act when you get off the stage. And if you can't act in a proper manner or a proper tone, then this platform ain't for you. Just plain and simple, man. Yeah. Because we have to look at somebody's grandma who come, somebody's mom who come, somebody who bring their babies, bring their kids, somebody's sister, somebody's brother. We have to look at them as that's my grandma in here. That's my granddad in here. That's my uncle in here. That's my shorty in here. Mm-hmm. That's my kid in here. So it's our job to protect them. So that's why this platform was created. And that's why this platform has been greatly successful, man. It has. It's because we're breaking the stereotype of quote unquote the hip hop because they associate violence with hip hop. They associate violence with rap. That's why this platform is opened up to all genres of music, not just hip hop or rap. But you know, we get most of them gravitating to us just because of who we are. Right. You see what I'm saying? So yes, man, you know, I don't want to turn this into me. I don't want to turn this into what we doing because we're here to honor you today, man. We're here to let the rest of the world know who you are and that you exist and that you are one of the four founders that created the Seattle music sound, man. Whether they want to believe it or not, because you have gold records, man. On like you said, E40 them gave you a plaque. a gold plaque.
Yes,
and that
sir.
was a Seattle sound because you're from Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
This is us. They just adopted it and took it more to the next level because they was more blessed to do it than us at the time.
They had the platform.
You see what I'm saying? We didn't have the platform, but
Right.
now the platform's here. Seattle Music is Real is a platform to where you don't have to go to California. You don't have to go to New York. You don't have to go to Atlanta. You don't have to go to the Midwest to get on. You could come right in your backyard and get on a major platform because our merger with Virgin is bigger than what people think. This is not a record deal. We didn't sign no record deal.
Yeah.
We did real business with these people,
like
man.
I said, when I was coming down here, I almost wanted to hijack the interview and just interview you, but we'll save that for another day. So there's a lot of stuff people don't know about you and all the stuff we've been talking about.
You know, that's for them to find out, man. You know, I like to play the backfield, man. I like to play the background because one thing I found out about being in the background as my eyes, and really I got this from my auntie them. My auntie Sharon, rest in peace, and my auntie Katie, rest in peace. They used to sing back in the day, and they used to go to independent record labels. The record labels, and the reason why they didn't really make it is because the record label didn't really have no structure. The record label really didn't have no plugs for them to get out there, and they was talented, man. You dig what I'm saying? So I saw that at a young age, and I told myself, as if I could play the background, that's how we will succeed. Is because there's somebody back there doing this, man, all the time. The puppet master, man.
I had this conversation with somebody the other day. There's Baby and Slim of Cash Money.
Yeah,
I'd rather be Slim.
Yeah, me too.
I'd rather be Slim in the background. I don't know what he looked like.
Man, that's real talk, man. So we're gonna end this, man. Thank you for coming to the platform, man. And I want to tell you again, on the behalf of BJ&J Entertainment, the Seattle Music is Real platform, man, we are honored to present you with these plaques, man. Mari Bass 148 Ratchet, man. And thank you for just collaborating with us and being part of our journey.
Oh, it's an honor, man. Thank you.
So I'm going to leave y'all with this. Here on Seattle Music is Real Talk. Seattle Music is Real. This ain't a game. It's a movement.
Seattle Music is Real Talk.